Hey everybody, this is Frilioth and welcome back to another episode of the Minecraft Survival Manual. Today I'm going to be talking about storage, or specifically automatic item sorting. Now, as you can probably remember from my chests behind me, I've got a load of rubbish in loads of different chests. I don't know where anything is. It's an absolute nightmare over there. So what I'm going to do, as I mentioned a couple of episodes ago, I'm going to turn this room into my storage room. So on this side, I'm going to have my bulk storage, which is going to be automatically sorted. We're going to put in an automatic sorting system. And on this side, I'm probably going to have my non-sorted items, i.e. redstone or dyes or different kinds of glass or flowers, something that I'm not going to be storing in bulk because you're really not going to have, or certainly early game, you're really not going to have a double chest full of repeaters or a double chest full of obsidian or a double chest full of lapis, but you may well have a couple of double chests full of stone or dirt or wood logs, that kind of thing. So if we have the bulk items on one side that are automatically sorted and the non-bulk items on the other that I can come in and pick and choose from, maybe a redstone box as I mentioned, or a dye box or a glass box. Later on we'll be getting, once myself and Avo have gone to the end and slain the dragon, we'll be getting shulker boxes, and that'll make the storage so much easier. But for the time being, we're just going to lob down a load of chests, bit of sorting, and hopefully we'll take it from there. So I've crafted myself a load of chests, a load of hoppers. I've got some redstone. I've got some droppers, which I'm going to need, some observer blocks. I'm hoping I've got some redstone torches knocking about. If not, I can make some. I'm going to need some redstone torches. So first of all, I think we'll put the input for the farm. I can come in with all my gear and I can throw it in a chest. We'll probably put the chest in here. If we knock out those couple of blocks, see if we can replace these with a nice block. Put those there. If we put an input chest there, that means now every time I come in, I can just open that, throw everything in there, and it'll get sorted. And in order for this to be sorted, we need to get it into the system. To get it into the system, it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to need some slabs. Have I got? There it is. I'm going to need some stairs. I'll have some of those. Oh, look at this already. Look, this is why I need a sorting and storage system, because I've got pants everywhere. So you can only access a chest if there isn't a solid block above it. So in order to be able to access that chest, I'm just going to stick a stair above it, and then I can still access it. If we put a couple of stairs like that, yeah, that'll do. Still access it. Now here, I think we'll have a line of droppers, and this is going to fire the items up into the line of hoppers we're going to have running down the top. Now, eventually, once I find a nice snowy biome or make myself an ice farm, I'm probably going to turn the input into an ice way input, because it's just so much quicker and it uses loads less hoppers, because you don't need the top row of hoppers. But for the time being, I'm just going to have to do with this, because I don't have ice. And I don't know where there's a snowy biome, and I don't even have a silk touch pick. I need some droppers. There they are. So if I have some droppers here, 1, 2. This is where I start digging through stuff that I really don't want to be digging through. See, things like coal, you could quite easily have a couple of chests of coal. So we might have a coal one. I think I need 4. I do, yeah. And then on the top of that, we're going to need a line of hoppers running all the way down. So let me just clear out a little bit more room above here, and then I'll put a line of hoppers running across the top, and then and we'll start putting some chests in. Okay, so I've made a little bit of room, and hopefully it'll be enough. So I'm going to stick my chests down. I think we'll have them running down in a line here now. You're going to have to crouch when you're putting these next to each other. You could put them too wide. You could make them double chests. But again, how much storage are you really going to need? If you want these to be double wide, if you want to store an obscene amount of cobblestone or stone or granite or whatever, then you can make these double wide and as high as you like, really, as long as you can reach them. But I think I'll stick with only one wide. I could make these out of barrels if I wanted to, but I've already made myself a load of chests, so it's going to have to be chests. So if you crouch, you can put these side by side. In the past, back in the good old days, we would have had to have put a chest and a trap chest and a chest and a trap chest, but you don't have to do that now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll have 10, and then I'll make these 3 high. That should be plenty. Yeah, I'm not going to make it. I could have made it a little bit deeper, but how much room do you need in a storage room? I think a 3 wide gap with some chests on this side, like this, with my other stuff in. That'll be fine, won't it? It's a storage room. So now we need to start sticking in some redstone. And by redstone, I mean some hoppers. We are going to need a little bit more room behind the back of here. Let me dig this wall out a little bit. That's the beauty of working underground rather than building yourself a nice house. If I'd have built myself a nice house, now I'd be ripping down the walls and building the house again, which is another reason why I like working underground. Okay, so what we need to do now is stick a chest pointing into the back of stick a hopper pointing into the back of all of these chests, and make sure that you're looking at the storage container that you want the hopper to go into. Make sure the nozzle is pointing into wherever it is you want it to go, otherwise the stuff's going to go nowhere. And as I mentioned before, with the fissure over there, items will come in through the top hopper, but instead of going down and then flowing out, they'll get sucked through into the hopper below, because the hopper below always takes priority. So it'll always suck an item from the hopper above to the hopper below, and then it'll do the same to the bottom until this chest is completely full and this hopper is completely full. Then the items are going to go into the chest above it. So that's that. Now we need to stick a hopper going into the back of these hoppers. So again, look at the back of these hoppers and do that. Now we need another hopper. Hoppers. So we need to get up there somehow. Now we need another hopper facing away from that. We can't have the hopper pointing straight down into that hopper, and I'll explain why in a second when we put some redstone down, but we need it to be pointing into another block. So we need, if you grab yourself this won't be seen from the front, so it can be cobble. It doesn't have to be a nice looking block, I don't think, unless you really want it to be. And now we need these hoppers pointing into the cobblestone. As I say, it can't be pointing straight down like that. Gonna have to get rid of some of this as well. Don't worry, some of this is going to fall in here and it is going to end up in your chest, but don't worry too much about it. We can sort that out in a second. So now we need a line of hoppers that runs all the way along the top. So stick yourself down a temporary block at the end, like that. And then we need to run a line of hoppers that are facing to the left. What needs to happen is, if there's a sorting item or a filler item in there, it's going to stop that hopper from sucking anything out of this hopper that isn't already in there. And then it'll just pass straight along the line because of the nozzles. It'll pass to the next hopper. And then if the hopper underneath can suck it through, it will. If it can't, it'll pass to the next hopper. And that's how this system works. So if we put a line of hoppers now, this all needs to run over the top of that dropper there. So now when the items get fired up, they'll end up in this hopper and then they'll go down the chain. Now we need to get around the back and we need to stick in a bit of redstone. Love my redstone. So we'll use cobble because we can, I guess. So we need some cobble blocks there and there. Like that. Now let me just dig a little bit out in the wall. Let me just dig out a little bit more room. I'm forever messing about, so I'll dig out a bit of an area to give us a bit of room to work in. That's better. Now we've got a bit of room to work in. Right, so if we sort out the item elevator to start with, so anything that comes in, as I mentioned, you put stuff in there, it'll finish up. Actually, we need to put a hopper there. So anything we put in that chest now is going to go into the bottom dropper. We need to put a comparator there, which is going to read a signal. That'll pull a signal out of there when there's an item in it. We have that running into a bit of redstone like that. Sorry, a comparator, a repeater. My word. And then we have a bit of dust running around back on itself like that. Every time there's something in there now, it's going to make that clock pulse like that. Now we need a way of reading the signal off of that. And to do that, we're going to use our trusty friend, the observer. I love my observers. So if we put down a temporary block just there, we need an observer block above the redstone repeater. So you're going to have to crouch and jump, put down an observer block there like that, and then get to the front and then put an observer like that. So that observer will detect the changing state of the repeater. That observer will detect the changing state of that observer. And because that is powering the dropper directly, as we mentioned over in the fish farm, it'll power that dropper, and that dropper. So everything that's in the bottom will then get pushed up into that dropper there. If there were only 3 droppers that we had to go up, if I would have put that chest 1 block further up and have that nozzle pointing into this dropper, we could move everything up. We'd only need 2 observers, but I can't. So everything now we're going to have to put another observer at the top, just so it fires everything from that dropper into the top. So if we put a blob of dust on there like that, and then an observer pointing upwards like that, are we going to be able to do this? Yes, we are. So now that observer will detect the change of that dust, and everything will get powered up into the droppers, the hopper at the top. Hoppers, droppers, droppers, hoppers. If I put those sticks in there, then they should all get fired up. They should all go into the top. And they should all now be in this chest. Brilliant, because we've got no filters in. So if I put that in there, they'll get fired up, come around, it'll finish up in there. Perfect. Now we need to sort out the filters. And to sort out the filters, we're going to be sticking some comparators at the top, which are going to detect whether or not there's an item in the top hoppers. But before we do that, I'm going to need to rename a load of cobblestone. I've got myself a load of cobble. You can use any block you want. I just happen to have an abundance of cobble. So I'm going to be using cobblestone. But put yourself down a furnace. Put yourself down an iron anvil. And we made one of those the other day. It's just 3 iron blocks along the top, and then an iron T of ingots underneath it. Stick all of those in there. We're going to rename these, and I'm going to rename these filler. And that's only cost me 1 level. That's really good, actually. We'll do the same with these. And the reason for renaming them is we don't want to put an item into the system that we've used as the filler block. If we do, oh my word. If we do, then it's going to break the system. Okay, so it's important that you either put an item as a filter in there, you either put it in there that you'll never ever put through the system, or you just rename an item, because if you don't, as I say, it will will block up the system. So now we need to put some more cobble. Don't use your filler blocks to do this. Use normal cobblestone. And I need to put a line of cobble down here. Like that. And then one underneath it. And we'll go the whole hog and put one at the bottom as well. And now we need to get out our torches, our redstone torches, and put a redstone torch underneath all of these blocks. We won't bother doing it with the last one because we'll use the last one as like an overflow for items that aren't being sorted. Otherwise it will back up the system. So now that torch is powering that block which is locking that hopper. Okay, but because we've got it one block back, that torch isn't locking this this hopper. Okay, so it's only locking that hopper there. Now we need to get up on the top. Can you hear that zombie? Wanted to come and eat me. Now we need to put some comparators along the back of all of these blocks here. Like that. And now we can stick the filters in. We can stick the filler blocks in. So if we now grab our filler blocks and if we put a line of blocks like that and then fill this up to 17. We can then put the block in here. This is going to be the block that we want sorting. So if we want cobblestone to go in the first chest, we can then put a couple of blocks of cobblestone in there. Okay, you only need 2, but at the moment it's not going to work because we've got no redstone in. But this is just to fill, while we're up here, to fill the filters. So if we do the same with the rest of them. So now we've got 20 blocks in each one of these hoppers, apart from the end one, which is not going to have anything in because it's the overflow. So now, if there are more than 2 items in the empty slot, it's going to unpower all of this redstone in a second that I'm going to put in now. So now we need to stick in a block here. Running out of space again. I thought I'd got loads of space. Now on these blocks we're going to need to put a repeater. Like that. And on the back of this repeater we'll need another block. Okay, yeah, that'll do. And on this block we're going to need a line of redstone dust. Like that. And then we need to grab another load of cobble or whatever block you want. Oh, am I using cobble or am I using filler? I am using cobble, aren't I? And we need to put a line of dust along the top of all of these. Like this. Now, as you can see, at the moment, the power coming from the chest, oh my word, the power coming from these hoppers, sorry, is only a signal strength of 1. As soon as anything else, i.e. some more cobblestone, drops into that hopper there, the signal strength will go to 2 and it'll power that bit of redstone dust at the bottom, which is going to power the repeater, which is going to unpower the torch, which is going to unlock that hopper below it, allowing the items to flow through. Now, this is great if you don't have a massive amount of items to store. This is really not very good if you've got a bulk farm, a bulk gold farm, or any kind of bulk iron farm that is likely to fill up, because as soon as all of these hoppers fill up and that hopper fills up, it will give off a signal strength that's long enough to bleed over and unlock the filter next to it. And if this hopper fills all the way up, it will then unlock this hopper and all the items in there will flow through regardless, and it will completely break your system. So this is only really any good for small amounts of sorting and storage. If you're going to be, we'll look at a bigger, more industrial kind of sorting system later, but for the time being this is more than adequate for what we need. So now we've got that. It's all lit up. Now we can go down and start putting some items in the front. Put another torch down here. So now we've got the filters in and everything. We'll purify this up in a little while. I'm going to have cobble in the first chest. I'll probably have stone in the second, and then I don't know, dirt, and then sand. At the moment, I don't know what I'm gonna put in there. What have we got in here? Let's grab the cobble. We'll use stone brick, maybe. I like stone brick. So if I throw a load of cobble in there now, it's going to go up the item elevator. You can see. All going through, and it should be appearing in this first chest. If I want stone in the next one, because we've got nothing else in these filters, the next item I put in there will automatically fill the filter at the back. So if I put stone in there, if I replace that with stone, it should now go up into the filter, and now you can see the second torch is turned off, so the items are flowing down through the second line of chests, and that's filling up stone, which is brilliant. So if I want stone block to go next, stone bricks to go next, put those there. The third one goes off, and now stone brick is going to be flowing into the third chest. Absolutely fabulous. So what do we have next? So we'll have a bit of dirt. These can easily be changed as well if you decide that you want two chests full of cobble rather than only the one. It's easier to change them. Just get up here when the system's not running. Don't really do it when the system's running, or you will mess it up. And just change the first block to whatever it is you want to store in there. So if you wanted to change that chest from storing stone to storing coal, just remove the stone and replace it with coal, and then that filter will be a coal filter, not a stone filter. So I've picked up a load of stuff from my chests up there. I've just been attacked by a creeper. Again, you wouldn't believe it, would you? You'd have thought I'd have learnt by now. I was just here grabbing some stuff out of here. Creeper jumped down, blew up. Fortunately, I didn't die. Me and creepers, they love me. My creeper pants. So if I have cobble in that one, stone in that one, stone brick in that one, dirt in that one, it's in there now, so I'm going to leave it. If I have andesite in the next one, if I throw some andesite in, where is it? Andesite next, that should go into that chest. Brilliant. And then we'll have dolerite after that. Then we'll have granite after that. Throw those in. If we then have gravel after that, have all the kind of the stone variants. Brilliant. And then I think we'll have my wood variant. So we'll have some wood and then some planks. Can then have my sand. And then we'll have, got everything else. We'll have the netherrack, because you get, you always accumulate loads and loads of netherrack. So now we just have to wait for all of that to filter through. I may as well lob it all in there now, because all the filters are working. That stone, the stone stairs at the end, that, and we'll throw in the torches as well. They should end up in the overflow filter at the end. They should end up over here. So we'll give it a couple of minutes to do its magic, and then we'll be back to have a look how it's worked out. Actually, while we're waiting for that to finish, and it's rattling through it quite quickly now, I've also had to add an extra couple of chests at the end. I'd run out of chests, so I've put in a little bit more, a few more at the end. What we're going to do is just fill in around the outside of it. So we'll grab our stone brick, probably grab some stone just in case we need it. turn that into stone brick. I'm going to need some stone brick stairs. That should be enough. So if we put some stone brick around the outside of it, I might purdy this up a little bit more later, but for the time being this is going to be fine. Can't put, and you know we can't put normal stone brick along the top, otherwise that's going to break it. So I'm going to stick some stone brick stairs. I've got no room. Stone brick stairs. I'm conscious that I can hear zombies and stuff jumping about up there, so I really don't want to be digging through. Into a zombie pit, so to speak. So if we crouch and put a stone brick stair there, then those chests can still be accessed, and we can put a tab on the front, or a tag on the front, and then we'll just stick down a couple of torches just up here. We don't want mobs spawning up here, do we? Actually, what I'll also do while I'm here is cover these hoppers. If I cover these hoppers, that way, if we're digging about above it, we won't get items falling through into here. Grab some cobblestone from my filter, from my chest here. Look at that. It's great when everything's in the right place. I can hear you. I can hear you. Don't know where you are, but I can hear you. So now we've done that, so stick a line of torches down, a bit more light down here. I mean, as I mentioned, you can never have too much light, and this is going to flash, so you are going to need it lit up. It's not going to be as bad as some flashing redstone, but it is bad. And maybe I should have filled in under there. Baby zombies are going to be able to get in under there. Build that in, then nothing can spawn under there. So if we now put a column of blocks just there like that. Now I'm going to make myself some item frames. Now item frames are entities, so if you're on a server that's got... Oh, hello mate. If you're on a server that's got some kind of lag clear on it, you might not be able to use item frames because they do cause lag, but I think myself and Avo should be okay. Are you going to eat me if I come down here? Possibly not. So to make an item frame, we're going to need some sticks and we're going to need some leather. So it's just 8 sticks around the side and then leather in between. That makes an item frame. Only got enough to make 5. That'll have to do. So if we stick an item frame up the top just there, we can then whip out one of these and put it in the item frame. So now we know what's in these chests. You can put them on the front of the chest if you want to, or you can put a sign up there. It's up to you. What did I have in there? Oh, it was stone brick, wasn't it? What did I have in there? Oops, stone brick. So anyway, I'm just going to finish these off. And I'll be back here in a second. Okay, so all the stuff's gone into the chests. Everything seems to be working okay. You see, I should have checked this before I uttered those famous last words. No, that seems to be working fantastic. I've also stuck a couple of doors in at the end so I can get around the back if I need to get up to the redstone to change the filters. Probably put in some ladders. Put in a set of steps there. I can get up. I'd run out of chests, so that's about as much as I'm going to be able to do. But as I said, I'm going to be putting individual items in these chests rather than bulk storage, which I think is going to work out fine. I'm going to stick something on the end, on the wall here, because it gets a little bit dark down the end. And I'm sure this is a trick that you guys have seen before. But if you haven't, then here goes. If you stick an item frame, so we put a torch on the wall there, put an item frame over the top of it, and then put a slab on the item frame like that. It looks like the torch is in a little holder. I think that looks fantastic. But anyway, that's got nothing to do with the storage system. But I just like the idea of making it look nice. So I'm afraid that's it for today, everybody. Thank you very, very much for watching. I really do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to leave it a like. And if you've really loved it, don't forget to subscribe for future videos. And don't forget to do what I'm going to do now and pop over and see how Avo has tackled this little storage conundrum, because I'm sure he's done it a little bit differently to me. So thank you very much again, everybody. Really do appreciate it. This is Frilioth, and I'm out of here.